Hi, this is Brian Kim. I want to share with you this SimulEYE SimuloRhexis model case using the sharp tip Haldipurkar SimulRhexis technique, not through my main incision, but through a 1.5 millimeter paracentesis incision. Now, you might be thinking, why are you doing that? Well, first of all, Haldipurkar forceps are designed to go through a 1.2 millimeter incision according to epsilon. And this is so that you can do several things. You can do capsulorhexis when the chamber is unstable. You can go through a small incision, but it also gives you a different angle when you're trying to do capsulorhexis. If you're running into trouble, let's say you're getting a radialization of your rhexis from your main incision. And so this gives you a different angle to be able to complete the rhexis, again, with a nice stable chamber. And so I'm going to show you my first experience trying to do capsulorhexis through a 1.5 millimeter incision. So here you can see I'm taking the top off this fake eye and I'm removing the actual capsule component. And so I'm adding a new capsule component. Again, in the model, it comes with several of those red and blue discs. So you can just swap it out, plop it into place, and it snaps right in. And so now we have a brand new eye here. I'm going to go back in with the SimulEYE version of the viscoelastic, filling the chamber. And then I'm going to go ahead and coat the cornea with that surface coating material. I do think it helps with visualization. Again, it has really nice surface tension, so it stays on the eye rather than running off. And I'm going to do the rhexis as much as I can through the paracentesis. Of course, you would never go through the paracentesis solely when you have a larger main incision. But the point is to see, does this forcep really work through this small incision? Again, because of the stiffness of this eye, I had to go through a 1.5 millimeter incision, you can see. So I do my typical technique. I puncture the center, pull towards me, and then I'm grabbing the right side of the tear, and I'm now creating a flap. You can see with this maneuvering, I'm not getting too much ore locking. The eye isn't moving too much. Of course, I have great control and chamber stability because I'm going through a 1.5 millimeter paracentesis incision. And you can see how thin the forceps are within the incision. It's uniformly the same diameter along the forceps length there. I have great control. I'm able to grab and re-grab in a very controlled manner. And you see I'm torquing within my incision. You're not seeing too much of eye movement when I'm doing this. And again, there's a suction cup that's holding the eye steady for me. And I'm able to rotate my forceps a little bit as well. Again, these are rounded handled forceps. And so it gives you that ability to rotate within your fingers the forceps as well. So right here, I go ahead and try to grab, but when I grab, I get a little bit of an awkward tear. I didn't want it to radialize, and so now I'm going to go in through my main incision and complete the rhexis. So again, the purpose is not to say, hey, I'm able to do a capsulorhexis purely and solely through a paracentesis incision. The point is I'm able to do the rhexis in some shape or form through this 1.5 millimeter paracentesis incision. And again, that's how Epsilon markets this forcep, saying that it can go through a 1.2. Again, because of the stiffness of this eye, I made the incision a little bit wider, about 1.5. But nonetheless, the concepts and the fact that I'm able to perform this through that small incision, you appreciate the length of the forcep and how narrow it is, the low profile because it opens and closes like scissors rather than tongs. And again, you can see how easy I'm able to open the forceps. And because of the way it's designed, it's not really quite opening like, like a typical scissor from a single hinge. It's almost like opening in parallel when you see it opening right here as I'm doing maneuvers. I'm just trying to simulate the maneuvers here. And so, again, I had a lot of ease, great confidence, performing the capsulorhexis with these Haldipurkar forceps to the side port incision. So again, here I'm trying to show the width of the incision. Is it 1.2, 1.5? I don't know. I mean, it's around there, 1.2, 1.5. And I just used the little ruler as you saw illustrated there. So again, this is my first attempt doing capsulorhexis through a 1.2, 1.5 millimeter paracentesis incision with the sharp tip Haldipurkar forceps. So I hope this was helpful to you, and I thank you for your attention.